I've been putting it off long enough, I guess. It's time to do valve cover gaskets on the old Jeep. Got about 207,000, I think, now on it. But they're leaking pretty bad. It smells like burnt oil all the time. So, especially this time of year with the air conditioner running, smells pretty bad. So, gonna get to it, and actually looks pretty easy on this car. There's no coils or anything on top of the valve covers. It's looks like they're going to be pretty simple to do. So let's get to it. Of course, the nut, there's a bolt going through here, and the nut is spinning underneath. Well, looking at the driver's side, I don't think this is the majority of the problem. The only thing I see is back there. There's some oil goo residue on the manifold back there. So that was at least part of the problem, but I'm pretty sure that passenger side is where the majority of the leak is. But really, this one was still pretty dry. All right, got all those in. Alright, well, looks like I gotta drain the coolant because those two lines, these two lines here are going to the heater core and they connect down here, so it looks like if I disconnect those, drain the coolant out, I can get these two hoses up and out of the way so that the valve cover can come out right through here. This is obviously where my oil leak is. All along this bottom, it's wet down here, so that's the majority of my problem. So gotta get to it and drain the coolant. All right, down here under from the driver's side, if you look right through there, can you see it? Yeah, you see the drain valve right there, bottom of the radiator. They put a looks like a tube where you could connect, whatever, where you can connect a tube to the bottom of it. Unfortunately, it is directly above the frame. I mean, I can't even get a hose in there. Yet another example of engineers hate mechanics. Alright, let me see what I can figure out to aim this coolant somewhere. Alright, this is my makeshift funnel. It's going to shove under the bottom of the radiator right where that valve is, and hopefully all the coolant comes out the end I want. Alright, well, it's going to take a bit, but it's working and it's not making a mess. Get this hose out of the way. Just quarter turn, we'll have a little tab, locks it in there. Oil fill. I think I got the kit came with a gasket for that too, so go ahead and remove that. Three, two on top and one on the bottom. Kind of a pain to get to. That should get them. Just have to reach back there at the socket, and I did a really like a short extension, actually a swivel. I went ahead and disconnected the 4 injectors. I don't think you need to, but I just did it to make sure I don't break those connectors. Got bungee cord here holding some wires up and out of the way. And then there's a wire loom here on the front that was up here. Got it pushed back out of the way. Hopefully that valve cover comes out and right through this hole. That's the plan. going to loosen that bolt there. See if this thing can just push over just a little bit. Well, that's easy. Sheesh. Alright, new gasket's in, all those new seals are in. Obviously pay attention to where the ones with the studs go and where the regular bolts go. When I replaced them, I just did all the ones with studs first, got them in there, then pulled the rest of them, so that way all the studs went back in the right spot. Alright, valve cover's back in. If you noticed, when I was putting it back in, I was messing around back here because the seal had fallen out of its little groove. So, you know, maybe you should put a little wheel bearing grease or something in there to keep it stuck in there. I didn't, but I was able to get it back in its place, drop it down, got everything tightened up. Got to reconnect the fuel injectors, put all the wires back where they're supposed to be, these little on the studs. Battery, oh, got to do the oil filler gasket. And pop that back in and put the battery back in. Alright, well, across the back of the engine there, comes over here is this PCV hose, and it was snapped off right over here, right back on this corner. Apparently this used to be rubber a long time ago, but now it's petrified, so it literally snapped off the nipple down there. So anyways, went down to the hardware store, got some, I think it's 5/8 PCV hose, and I'm gonna put this back together and then I can button it all up. Got the two coolant hoses hooked back up, oil fill reinstalled with the new gasket. Made sure, went through and made sure all my connectors, everything's reconnected. I did put this back in place, bolted it back in. I had just removed that bolt, give that a little more movement. Oh, do gotta put this fitting back in. It just, looks like it just goes in there and turns clockwise. Alright, so that should be all my PCV back connected. And that's it. Alright, thanks for watching.